Hey everyone, my name is Leanne, and I have been on YouTube talking about alcohol recovery and mental health for like almost 10 years. And because I've been talking about alcohol recovery for such a long time, I sometimes get messages from people asking questions or for advice or things like that. And every once in a while, it's rare, but every once in a while, I'll get a message from somebody who I can tell is at their absolute wit's end and they know they need to make a change, but they have no idea where to start. And there's such a sense of urgency of like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Help me. What do I do? So this message is for those people. It would be my answer to like, okay, this is what you can do. Here are some actionable things of what you can do when you feel you're in that space. So when someone feels like they need to quit drinking, there's generally one or two people. The first kind of person are the luckiest ones, I think, and they're the ones who hit a rock bottom and they're like, that's it, I am done, I'm quitting drinking, and then they quit for years or the rest of their life. I'm one of those people. I think I'm lucky because I had a rock bottom where it woke me up to quit forever, really. So, and then there's the other types of people, the majority of the people, where they quit many times, where you quit drinking for a few days or a few weeks, maybe even a few months, and you're feeling good, but then you go back to drinking again. And then things get bad again, and then you quit and you go back, and then you're like, what is happening, over and over and over and over and over again. So okay, you decide this time you are done, and you mean it. I believe you mean it because you fucking mean it. And maybe you still love drinking. That's very normal. A lot of people still love drinking when they quit. And that really has no bearing on anything. Like that's not a I need to hate drinking in order to quit. No, you can still love it. Same with people like with quitting cigarettes. A lot of people still love smoking, but they gotta quit smoking for, health reasons or whatever. Same with drinking. You can still love drinking and love that sometimes you have a good night when you're drinking. But it comes to a point where all of the bad starts to really outweigh all the good. Here are the two main things that you should start doing like today. First thing to do would be, I'm grouping two things together right now, would be to detox and or find a program. Don't roll your eyes and click off this video because you think I'm talking about AA. I'm not. There's more to it than that. So detox or find a program. Detox, it all depends on the severity of your addiction. If you need to be medically supervised when you detox, so talk to a doctor or maybe call local detox places or call like a national helpline to ask those questions to see if you would need to. They might do like an intake form to help triage you to see if you do need medical detox, that kind of thing. But either way, Google what you can find in your area to answer that question. And next would be to look at a program. So what does that mean? A program, all it really needs to be is led by professionals that give you the tools, resources, and support that you need to get sober and stay sober. It is generally like a structured program that you go to or participate in. And there's lots of different kinds of programs. There's like inpatient hospitalization programs, outpatient programs, or like community sober living programs, day programs, 12-step programs that do meetings. There's also Smart Recovery, LifeRing, the Luckiest Club. There's so many different options, and some of them are like in person in your city, some of them are online only. Either way, find a program that could work for you. Most of them are free, some cost money, so that is a tip. Google to see what is available in your area, and if there's nothing locally, like I said, there's lots of online things. Google Smart Recovery, Luckiest Club, LifeRing. The list goes on and on and on. The next tip would be to start to build your support network. Basically, other humans who understand what you're going through and who can support you. That could be like peer support groups, either online, in person, or like the subreddit Stop Drinking. Another thing you could add to your support network would be a therapist or a counselor, basically a professional, like an addictions counselor too would fall into that category. And don't just be like, therapy, no. Because there's lots of different kinds of therapy and lots of different approaches. And for the money part of it too, don't just assume it's going to be, I can't afford $250 an hour. There's different levels because there's different types of therapy, like psychologists, psychiatrists, they're going to be on the higher end of the scale in terms of money. So you can search for people with the title of social worker, counseling therapist. There's lots of different titles depending on where you live because the regulations are different everywhere. But it's not just going to be one rate Some places have a sliding scale, so look into it and see what you can find. Because when I got sober, I saw an addictions counselor. She was a social worker, but she had all the training, and she helped me immensely. So see what you can find in your area. That's an actionable step to literally look into that. Call them, do an online intake form, whatever you need to do to get started on that. And lastly, in your support network, you're going to want people who know you personally. So friends or family that you trust. That could even just be reaching out to one person right now. And I would suggest when you do reach out to that person, let them know that you're in a low place and that you want to start working towards sobriety. And let them know that you don't necessarily need them to do anything for you right now. You're not really looking for advice, because honestly, they could provide harmful advice without meaning to. So maybe just let them know that you just wanted to tell them, just so that they're aware, and that you might not even know what you need from them right now anyway. You just needed to tell somebody, because the majority of people truly do want to know. People always want to fix things too, though, generally. But if you just let them know, like, I don't need you to fix anything right now. I don't need you to do anything right now. I'm just telling you. When I feel like I might need something from you, I will let you know. If you want someone to drive you to a meeting, like, there's something a friend can do that can support you that isn't necessarily anything that big. Little things like that. And I know what you might be thinking right now, which would be, well, I don't really want to tell anybody, because as soon as I tell somebody, that means that I then have to, like, go along with it. I need to do it. I can't really fail, because then they would know, and I don't want them to think I failed, or really I don't want them to then hold me accountable. And, like, it makes it so much more real, and it makes it so, like, you have to do it now if you say it out loud. Like, I get that, and it's can be really scary. At least just tell one or two people that you trust. Can still seem scary as hell, but I urge you to do it. So that's where finding someone that you trust really comes into play, because if you slip, which you might, for a lot of people, that is part of the recovery journey. It's all learning to see what works, what doesn't. If you do, that person then ideally wouldn't judge you, wouldn't think you're a failure. So you can find somebody that you trust, that you can say, hey, I'm working towards sobriety. So, like, if you invite me out somewhere or whatever, just know that I'm not going to be drinking, and, like, please don't pressure me. That's it. That's all you got to do. It's scary, but you can do it. Some things that are really scary that you really should do, those are the things that are going to change your life. So the actionable step here would be to search for therapist, counseling therapist, addictions counselor in your area, either locally or online. And call or text someone that you trust right now and tell them what's up. And the last tip, go easy on yourself. For real, go easy on yourself. You might feel like an absolute failure right now. I did. You might feel like you've done all these things it's just not you. You might not feel you're like yourself anymore. You might not even feel like you even know yourself anymore, or maybe you've never known yourself, but you feel you're in there somewhere. You just don't know how to bring them out. And it is really hard to grow and change into the person who you want to be from a place of self-hatred. It's really hard to do that when you don't like yourself. I didn't like myself at all. When I quit drinking, I felt like a failure. I was not living up to my potential. I didn't even know what the fuck that meant. I just knew I was fucking up all over the place in every aspect of my life. So no, I didn't love myself. I was like, how am I going to love myself into quitting drinking, which is an act of love to yourself? How the fuck am I going to do that? I don't even like myself. I faked it for a while until I did slowly start to build my self-esteem up again. And then it made recovery easier, because I wasn't, or because I was doing it from a place of love. It took a while to forgive myself, and it will take a while for you to forgive yourself too. But I urge you to really try to do that, because you were doing the best you could do at the time. That's all we're doing. Sure, you probably made some shitty decisions, done some shitty things, but you're not a bad person at the core. You are a good person. even though you've made some bad decisions that are unhealthy. It's going to take time, but you can do it. Truly, you really, really can. And when things get hard, push through them. You might feel like you really want to drink so bad. Wait 15 minutes. Honestly, ride it out. Feel it. Ride it out. It's going to pass. You're going to be so thankful that you didn't take that shot or whatever when you're out. And it's going to feel hard, but you're going to get through it. Don't let yourself slide back into the familiar. Slide back into like, well, I've always done it this way. Sure you have, but do you want to make changes? Yeah, you do. It's going to be hard, but you can do it. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you found some helpful actions that you can take from it. And there's so much more. Obviously, I have a whole channel based all around this. There's so many different things that you can do and that we could get much deeper into to talk about. So watch more of my videos on YouTube. Watch other people's videos on YouTube. There's a lot of information out there. And I can guarantee you, whatever you're thinking or whatever you're scared of, so was I, or so was someone else in this community. So was someone else in the comments down below. We get it. You are not alone, and you truly can get through this. So again, thank you for watching, and remember, you can do hard things, you deserve happiness, and you are loved.